What's up, everybody? My name is Karen Carter, and I'm a five-time author, writing for some incredible publishers, Penguin, Scholastic. Um, Usually I'll be writing all my thoughts, or all my research or all my opinions on my Writers or Superstars newsletter. But once in a while, I like to throw in a video because, why not? You know, even though I'm not super comfortable on video, I think sometimes it's important for me to just kind of speak directly, so you could see my face, and kind of get a different kind of vibe for me as I'm sharing all these opinions. And you know, uh, what I'm going to talk about today is actually in response to something one of my readers shared. Like one of the readers of my newsletter said last week when I wrote a post, and my posts tend to be more research based, and then I throw some opinion in there about whatever research that I'm doing. But sometimes I have personal posts, and last week was a personal post where I kind of just talked about my journey as an author. And I'm someone who wanted to be an author since I was 8. If you followed me, you know this already. And last year I had the best author year of my life. So I was kind of telling that story, and the news of me, one of my novels selling 11,000 copies in 3 months, and how long that journey felt like to get here. And when I shared that story, one of my readers said, "Call my author dreams fool's gold." You know what I mean? Like, he said it wasn't worth it, basically. And just to be clear, this person is super super supportive. Like, they actually comment on all of my posts. Um, we go back and forth sometimes with their opinions. Like, so this is actually not an like, it's not a negative, like, it's not a knock on them. I'm just they said something, and I'm going to react to it because I actually think it's a really important conversation. And the conversation is the author dream worth it? And I think for many authors, kind of emerging authors coming up, it's probably a question they have in their mind. Like, what are they chasing? What does that end goal look like? And as someone who has been doing this forever and has experienced so much, like me myself, I've been self-published. I was published with an indie publisher. I'm published with the biggest publishers in the world now. So I've literally gone through everything. And before even getting there, it took me 6 years to write my first novel. So I'm telling you, I've been through so many different experiences that I feel like I can actually speak to this and speak to it very succinctly and with some validity, because again, this is the only thing I've wanted to do my entire life. And what I'm proud of is that I've actually stuck to it. Like, that's the part that I'm, more than anything, I'm just proud of myself for it, because I've seen so many authors and so many writers who said they wanted to be authors, or so many authors who wrote one book or two books and then stopped, or didn't even get to one book, couldn't even finish it because of whatever situation, whatever life circumstance. So for me, I feel fortunate in so many ways, but I also feel proud of myself just to for the fact that I kept going. But when that person called it fool's gold, I was like, well, that's an interesting comment, especially for someone like me who's been so well supported by peers and readers for so long. Like, readers who read my work, I get so much support. I actually don't get a lot of the negative stuff. To be, I want to just be honest. Like, I haven't received many negative comments. Many people telling me, "Oh, I can't do this." If anybody knows me, anyone seen or read my work, it's been like 99% positive for the most part. So I don't get a lot of opposition. The newsletter is different because it's opinionated, so it's not my novel. So I do get a lot of commentary on that, but purposely so. Like, that's the point of the newsletter, is really for a conversation. So that's a little bit different. But when it comes to my actual novels, or my novel writing and my pursuit of being an author, I haven't gotten criticism for it. So this was when I did get that criticism, I thought it was a really good opportunity to learn, to teach, for me to learn, and for me to pose some questions to myself, and then to everyone I know who reads and listens to what I write. So when when this person said that, my journey has been fool's gold because it took me, let's just say, my first self-published book came out in 2014, and 2024 is my best author year. So it took me essentially 10 years to you know what I'm saying, he's saying for me to sell that many books, for me to finally be, like, let's just say, successful as an author, to sell 11,000 books in 3 months. I guess that will qualify as successful, right? So you're saying that was like not worth the journey, like time versus value, or was the way I think they phrased it. And it makes me think about two things actually. The first thing I thought about was there's a writer, and I'm not remembering her name right now. She's actually a screenwriter. She's not a novelist. And she said, if there is anything else that you can see yourself doing besides writing, then you should probably do that, because writing is one of the most unforgiving ventures, paths that you can take, that you can go on. So even if you have an inkling of doing something else, then you should do that other thing, because writing requires so much devotion that if you're not completely passionate about it and completely committed to it, then maybe you should just like stick to journaling, or don't even take this path. That's what this writer said, and I wish I could remember her name. I don't know why I'm blanking. If I remember it, I'll throw it up after. Um, but I think about that, and I think about my journey, and where why I wanted to start with that is because I've literally never wanted to do anything else. So this is my dream. You know what I mean? This is my calling. This is my fate. This is what I have set out for myself. The path I've set out for myself. I've made it very clear, very clear that my mission in my professional career is to be a full-time author. Everybody who has followed me knows this. Like if you read my posts, if you've been following me for 6 months, 3 months, or 10 years, which some people have, you know this about me. I have put my ambition front and center, and have just called it out very, very clearly. Like, this is what I want, and I don't care what people have to say about it, you know? Um, but people have not said negative things about it. I haven't gotten negative feedback about my ambition. I've gotten some questions like, maybe why is it so specific, but I've never gotten negative feedback. So I, I think there is a price for ambition, which is what my piece was about last week, was about kind of like the of what it feels like to be this ambitious, and was, the sacrifices that I had to make along the way to get here. That's what I was talking about. And for me, every single part of it has been worth it. Every single part of it has been worth it. Getting rejected by all those agents, worth it. Um, Turning down job offers, worth it. The struggle to get published, worth it. Only selling a couple thousand books at first, worth it. My first published book didn't sell that well, worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of it has been worth it. And for me to sit here and say that right now, confidently, even I would say that last year, I would say that at any point in this journey, it's been worth it, because this is all that I want to do. So it's my dream, you know? And if it's my dream, then it's my dream. This is what I want for myself. It's if I had sat down and said, like, I want to be a politician when I grow up, or I want to be a doctor when I grow up, and I stuck to that dream, and I went through 13 years of medical school, no one would be like, oh, that's not worth it. You know, like, nobody would say that, because there's a definitive ending to that story. You go through undergrad, and then you're however long of medical school, right? Like, it's double digits of medical school and all the other schooling. Then there's a definitive ending. You know you're going to end up being a doctor in some capacity. I think what makes people nervous about being ambitious as an author and putting it out there is that there's no definitive ending. Like, I could have done all of this and nothing had worked out. That was a possibility. Like, and when I say worked out, meaning I could have not been successful as an author. I could have not gotten published. It happens all the time. Getting published is actually, comparatively speaking, it's super rare. I think it's under 5% of authors who try to get published. So it's not, it's a rare thing. And then of that percentage, even a smaller percentage actually earn out, meaning like they actually sell enough books to make some money off of make back the money that they got invested into themselves. And even fewer authors actually make money, sell books as a living. Like, they're just authors, like they don't have to do anything else. That's a rare, 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 rare feat. So me saying that that's what I want, I think it probably, with some people, it would inspire them, and they feel like, yes, like, I love how Kurt kind of just puts his life out there, and his confidence and his ambition is out there. And that for some people it might feel intimidating to where it's like that reader said, that's fool's gold. Why would you chase something like that? That's just like, you know, such a it feels so esoteric. Like why would you go after that? And it feels so impossible. Why would you chase after that? Fool's gold, right? The other thing though is so this is the other point I want to make. Yes, this has been the only goal that I've been chasing. Like I want to be a full-time author, period. Yes, absolutely. But it's not like I haven't done anything else with my life. Like I've I've lived a very full life. I live a very balanced life. I've done many things with my daughter. Um, like I can't even count. It doesn't even make sense for me to go through that. Uh, but I've been able to travel. I've had amazing relationships. I've met incredible people. Like I've made enough money to take care of myself and to make my daughter go to school for free. Like she didn't have to pay for college. I sent her to the UK for a year. She didn't have to pay for that. Like th- I've I've been blessed in so many ways, um, that even on this very very narrow journey of trying to fulfill my childhood dream, I've still lived life in a full life. So the the thought or the idea that because I am on a very specific path, and what seems impossible for people, and what does not, it's a journey that does not have a definitive ending because the paths are so different, and there are no certifications that are going to get you to be a successful author. You can't certify your way there. There's so many variables that go into it, and with a touch of luck as well. So there's just no definitive path, and I think because of that, um, like I said, like I feel like it might feel intimidating for people, but just because of that, just because there's no definitive path doesn't mean it's not worth chasing. Because first of all, no one should tell you what to chase. It's your goals and your dreams are your dreams. But second of all, well, to my third point, I would say I never ever, and I say this in my piece last week, I never looked at it like this wasn't a definitive path. I looked at this like if I do these things, then I will end up here. That's how I looked at it from day one. If I do these things, I will end up here. Period. Period. So maybe there is not a definitive path, like I said, and not even maybe there doesn't seem to be a definitive path. But for me, I never approached it like that. I approached it like it's for sure, like where I am today, I expected to be here. Expected it. I never it wasn't just this kind of wild dream, like obviously yes, it started as a dream, but it quickly became a goal. And so where I am today is where I expected to be today and further, so like now that I was really able to manifest myself being in this position, and I've been right about everything that I've wanted so far, been absolutely right about everything that I've wanted so far, then why would I not be right about me being able to just be an author? Like that's it. Like I'm a full-time writer right now, but I mean like full-time author just selling books. Like why wouldn't I be correct about that? And I feel I will be. So I'm going to continue to push. And also it's just fun. It's fun. Being able to do what you love is fun. Traveling around the world. Literally, I just came back from Hong Kong last month, like traveling around the world because I'm a writer. Norway, all across the US, all across Canada. Come on, man. Like this is literally a dream. So, um yeah, I just want to put that out there because I feel like it was a very interesting comment, and shout out to the person who made the comment because it inspired this post. But also, like, I don't want them getting grief for it at all because it's all love and it's all fun and it's all in good spirit. So I'm thankful for it. But I'm curious how other people feel about it, about the ambition and the chase of being an author. Is it worth it for you? Do you feel like it's worth it for you? And what is your end goal? Not everybody wants to be uh like selling millions of books. That's actually not the goal for everybody, for every author. So what are your goals? Like what do you see as success? Like what are you defining that as? Because I also think that's important. I've set like my definition, and I'm not ashamed of it. But what's your definition? What do you see as your end goal? Your final milestone, let me know. But again, thank you. I'll be back to writing as normal because that's what I love to do. But like I said, once in a while, I think a video is kind of cool. And yeah, Writers Are Superstars. Make sure you check it out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. And follow all my stories. Like we talk about writing, we talk about literature, we talk about pop culture, and we put those things together. We have a really good time doing it, and we have the best conversations on Substack about literature. So jump into Writers Are Superstars if you haven't already, and have a good day.